amazing episode of Just Be You podcast. This is a show about self-development and just learning how to accept yourself. Today's guest, I'm so excited for you guys to hear from. I'm sure you guys have seen her all across social media, maybe even in the media too. So how you doing? She is a side hustle coach. She's also my blogging coach, where I've learned so much from. And I just can't wait for you guys to hear her imparted wisdom on her journey and how she become a six-figure queen. Okay. But before we get into the conversation, be sure to like, share, and follow the show. You can find me on Instagram at Motivation with D. You can follow the show on Facebook at facebook.com /JustBeYou podcast. So let's just get into it. Latasha, how are you doing? I'm so excited to have you today.
I am so excited to be here. You are a ball of energy and just sunshine. I love it.
Thank you. So please tell everyone, where you're from, a little bit about your coaching expertise, because I think she's like the bomb.
Oh, you're so sweet. I love D. So I have a business called Arts and Budgets LLC. I focus on helping individuals, content creators, turn their side hustles into profitable businesses and turn their side hustle blogs into profitable businesses so they can make passive income and have multiple income streams.
Yes. So what initially got you to start blogging in the first place? Was that your first pivoting point, or did you, was there a side hustle, something else, and you're like, oh, let me try blogging?
Yeah, so I was actually teaching at a performing arts high school, and I was pregnant with my first child, and me and my husband were like, you know what, I'm going to stay at home. I really wanted to stay at home with my son, and I was like, I'm going to start a side hustle blog. And I had been studying these bloggers making 10K, 20K a month, and I'm like, if they can do it, let me try to do it too. And that's what I did. I started Arts and Budgets, the blog. It was a side hustle blog to help individuals find the best and most profitable side hustles. And I started it, and I was just posting every week, just studying others that have been doing it. And here I am.
Yeah, I mean, everyone always says, consistency is key. And just, learn, study the craft, or be a student of your business.
Yeah.
So I guess you are the living, walking testament of being a student of your own business. So I love
you. Thank you.
So how old is Arts and Budget now?
Arts and Budgets so I started it in 2016. So 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. So I think 7 years. I think I just made 7 years old with the business in February. I'm gonna remember.
Well, happy belated birthday to Arts and Budget. Okay.
Thank you. It's about 7 years. 7 years, because my son is turning 7, and I was pregnant with him. So I launched it a little bit shortly after he was born.
Nice. So do your kids have an opinion or ask you questions about you being an entrepreneur, or what is that, like being a mom of 4?
I know, right? Ooh, they keep me busy, me and my husband. But my oldest son, who is turning 7 in next month, he will say, are you blogging? What are you blogging about? Like, what's that? Like, he's really curious about what it is. Like, you're doing a coaching call, because we have the coaching calls with the course. Yeah. And he's like, you're doing another coaching call, Mom? Okay. All right. See you in an hour. So he's real in tune with all of that.
That's sweet. Has he picked up on wanting to be an entrepreneur himself, or does he even is that even a thought in his mind?
Right. So not yet. He says he wants to do like engineering. He likes to take apart different objects like radios and stuff and put it back together.
Oh, I mean, hey, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I don't think that's I don't foresee that being a job that will be taken over by AI, but
right. Right.
They're still early, so who knows what the next gen is going to do.
Okay.
But speaking of AI, what advice would you give young bloggers that want to get into blog, but they may feel like AI is a roadblock, and it's like, this might not be a good match because no one may not read it. I mean, we know people are still reading them, but the major roadblock is AI. What advice would you give them, or what are your thoughts?
Yeah, so I would say like utilize AI to help them write blog posts too. But the thing about that is I believe that even though AI is really popular now, I believe Google is going to show more favoritism to people who are actually writing. That's what
Mhm.
I believe over the next 3 or 5 years. They can they can absolutely tell which articles are AI. If you have
Yes.
like an AI indicator, if you copy it and you put it in there, it'll tell you if it's AI detected, right?
Yeah.
I had someone write something for me, and I was like, okay, I'm just going to run it through the AI detector. And I was like, oh no, like this whole blog post is like AI. I'm like, can you redo the blog post? Because I really don't want all this AI on the content. I really just kind of want, honestly, I want human writing, you
Yeah.
know, because I believe that Google favors that. And like I was looking at the content that I have, and it's all human written, and it's starting to rank. Like I was just telling one of the other students, I created a new blog, a newer beauty blog, and I just really started to really write content for it in January, and it's already ranking in Google and getting about close to 5,000, 6,000 page views already now. And I'm
Yeah.
just like, it works. So when you apply all of that, it works. And I'm not gonna really use AI to write the whole blog post,
Yeah.
but there are ways that we can utilize AI though to
Yeah.
write outlines to help us find more keywords to give us a sense of idea so we're not looking at a blank canvas. So
Yeah.
that's how I would use AI.
Yeah, I can agree to that because I just like played with like one AI just to see what it would be like. And when I ran it through, or when I put it in and did the Yoast SEO check on it, they couldn't even read it. And I was just like, what is this? So I was like, yeah, it pays. Like if you're gonna use it, just kind of look at it as a companion, as just to like brainstorm, get some ideas.
Yep.
If maybe you're like stuck on something, you're like, oh, let me just check this out. But to use it,
Yep.
full through, I also wouldn't recommend it. And I'm still new to this whole thing because just from, cross-checking it, even when I put it through Grammarly, the sentence structure was off, or the
Yep.
sentence
Yeah.
was extremely long. And I was like, oh wow.
Right. Me too. Every time, like I had done that too, like just to check it, and Grammarly is like, no, this, no, change
Yeah.
this, change that. Because sometimes I feel like sometimes with AI, that's why I always say with AI, make sure that you edit it, check it, because it has to sound like you. A lot
Yeah.
of the AI content sounds very similar. Discover this way how we can use this or something like that, or like really similar content the way that it's created. So it is best if you use it as an outline or guide, but then you have creative control to rewrite
Yeah.
it and edit it to make it sound like you.
Yes. And one of my biggest takeaways was AI is never going to replace a human brain that creates new ideas on a
That's
day-to-day
right.
basis.
That's
Okay.
right.
I
That's
love it.
right.
So in your journey, what's been one of your highlights or one of your proudest moments so far?
Oh, let's see. After having like all my 4 kids, my last baby, right, and getting married, one of my highlights with the blogging was speaking at FinCon, which is one of the largest personal finance conferences, and they had asked me to speak last year when I was pregnant with my daughter Piper, and that was just like surreal. Like I'm getting, we're flying to Florida, and I'm speaking on a subject that I love to help people with, which was blogging, and
Yeah.
we got to not only do that but enjoy Disney World too. So it was just like,
Two
I was
fun.
I was just like, this is the life that I've always wanted, like, to live life on your own terms and to create a business that can benefit and help you travel and not worry about, oh my God, I don't have enough money to get there. That has been one of the biggest highlights of it all for sure.
That's amazing. That's cool. Yes, I aspire to get there
Come
too.
on, you
Okay.
will. You
Yes,
already
yes.
got it. Your
I
consistency is through the roof.
Yeah, I know. You were like one of the people that actually kind of helped me get over like me talking, on like social media and just, doing this whole thing. Because like before I had taken the course, like I was like, oh, like should I, shouldn't I? Was like on the
I'm
fence. And
like,
then you were like,
go.
no, you can do it. You're like, I
Yes, because you're
saw you
so
do it.
amazing at it. Like you have it. You have that for
Well,
sure. You
thank
have to
you.
you have to do it. Like I'm like, go girl, because you got it.
Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate it. So how long does it take for you to like create your content, like and sourcing it and just like creating it? Because I know, well, when I'm creating content, I feel like I'm like burnt out, or I'm like, wow, or not at least burnt out, but it just takes a lot of energy. So how
It
do you keep your
does.
energy up? And how do you create your content? What's that process like for you?
Yeah, so I like to take like some time, like when it's quiet, because I'm only with the kids a lot. But me and my husband will come and we'll say, okay, so I'll go in the back for like 2 or 3 hours, and I'll say, okay, am I focused on a blog post today? I always like to write out at least 2 or 3 goals every single day from Monday through Friday. On the
Okay.
weekends, I like to be off, so I don't really answer emails as much. I normally answer emails on Monday through Friday, so I'm setting up those healthy boundaries, right? Because I'm the type I will burn myself out. I will work to nobody's business. I will work at a computer from top to bottom, like, oh, I got a webinar this week. I have to like tweak it. I have to like, I'll make something up. Like I have to do this to make this even better. So I have to say, okay, I'm off on these days, and these are the boundaries that I'm putting up as well, because I am more like, oh, this person emailed me, I need to email them back. Or I'll either be like, okay, let me come back to it. And then if I forget about it, I'm like, oh my God, I didn't answer in like 2 weeks. Oh my God. Like, it's like, so I like to answer like right then and there. But what I learned with that is that sometimes I will overwhelm myself by booking myself out too much. I did that somewhat when I was pregnant, and I had to cancel some things, as you may know.
Yeah.
I was like overbooking, and I was just like, I'm getting burnt out and I'm about to have a baby. So
Yeah.
I was like, I have to take it easy and I have to build up those boundaries. But I do like to get up every single day, write out 2 or 3 goals, business goals, and try to see if I can accomplish that.
Yeah, no, because when you first announced that you were pregnant, I was like, wait, she has this much energy to still do the show. I was like, well, if she does, I give it to you.
Right.
Like, cause I probably would be like, can we just reschedule like off the bat? But I appreciate you.
Right. I was like, oh man, it was rough.
Yeah, no, so but I understood. I'm like, duh, it made sense. I was so yes, it was no, we were good. Okay. And look, we're here now, and that's what
Yeah.
you know,
Perfect timing.
yes. Time and energy, it goes a long, long way.
It does.
It's, so what is kind of like your circle around your circle as far as like business and just kind of like keeping you uplifted? Because I told you like before we started, I have an accountability partner who happens to be your cousin. I found that out afterwards. I
Yeah,
was like,
I know, right? Isn't it a small world?
yes.
I love it that you guys are accountability partners. I think that's perfect. She's amazing. I love her. She's awesome. I think you are amazing. And I love your energy. And I just think it's perfect. It's perfect. But yeah, having like other individuals who are doing it can help. Having other visual like bloggers that are going through it with you can absolutely help. I have my husband, he's in business. He'll team up and he'll like take footage of me for like Instagram reels, for like he'll create content for me for that. So it's like really like, helping each other out, and
Nice.
figuring that thing out as well. Cause it could be a lot.
Yeah. It is because like you don't realize how many, I guess, all the moving parts to having a blog and all the different ins and outs and
Oh
of
my
it
God.
until you're into it.
Yes.
And it's
It's
like,
so
oh
much.
wow.
It's so
But
much.
the
And then like seeing like students that like went through my course like you that are doing so much and getting all these wins is so inspirational to me and so inspiring. And I love it. And it just keeps me going for sure.
oh well, what are your inspirations to keep you going?
Oh yeah. So let's see. Like my children are like my why, like, just investing for them for the future, like being able to travel and just for them to see like you could start at zero and then create something. Like if you have consistency, if you have God, if you just keep pushing, is one of my inspirations to keep doing it, I think,
Yeah.
and keep building that. And to be able to say, okay, I pay off $40,000 of debt with one blog, and to be able just to be at home with them is just all the inspiration I need. I think they are definitely like my biggest motivators to keep going.
That's sweet. How did that feel when you were like, yes, I paid off 40 grand, with
Yeah.
this blog? What was that experience?
Girl, surreal, because I grew up in a house where debt was seen as normal. So I graduated with my master's degree with 2 degrees, my bachelor's and my master's degree. I was done with college, but I also had a lot of debt. Okay, and I'm still paying off the remainder of the debt.
Yeah.
Um, but to actually be able to say, okay, enough is enough. I am not going to go through this again. Like not
Yeah.
switching the balances from this card to this card and just like paying it off. It felt so good. And for my kids to see that, it was just like, this is amazing. Paying off all the credit cards, no credit card debt. And that just felt so good to just inspire them to do the same and just to know how to manage money, right?
Yeah.
I think that's key. I think that's
Yeah.
key with them. And then investing for them for the future so they can be, wealthy in the future when they turn 21, but also letting them get an understanding of financial literacy is also so
Yeah.
important to me and my husband.
Yeah. I definitely agree because I can remember when I was a kid, I don't know. As I got older, I kind of felt like, oh, I wasn't really financially literate, but then I was, or just like how to um, grow that financial literacy aspect because it wasn't something that we really spoke about at home. It was just like find a good job, save your money, and all will be well kind of a thing. And
Yeah.
then as you go through life, it's like, this doesn't quite cut it, at least not in
Right.
2020 or the early 2020s. So I can definitely understand that sentiment.
Yes.
Um, so when it comes to business, do you have any non-negotiables that you're just like not getting down with?
Let me see. Anybody that's like disrespectful, that's out of the like, or too pushy, like salesy, like they'll keep hitting you up. Like you gotta work with me, or somebody that's. I like nice people.
Yeah.
I think the world is like has already like a lot of craziness in it. So I like people just to be nice. So like a non-negotiable for me is like maybe like a company saying like my children can't be involved or they want to take me away for like months without my kids or something along those lines. It's like a non-negotiable for me for sure.
Wow. Someone would actually say that they didn't want your kids like around. That's kind of harsh.
Yeah, like they may be like, we're doing this, you can't bring your kids. Everybody's pretty different.
Right.
So if that to me is a non-negotiable.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. I can take that. Um, so what I always ask everyone, how are you having fun? Because you are definitely a busy entrepreneur.
I
So how are
know.
you letting your hair down and what's one thing you enjoy the most?
Oh yeah. So I enjoy watching movies with my husband. So we might have my mom watch the kids and we'll go out, because I live close to downtown Chicago and it's very gorgeous in the summer.
Yeah.
And we want to get out and do some of that this summer, but Chicago is gorgeous. You could go down by the lake. That's relaxing to me, going to the beach. What else? And also just watching a movie, like after a long day, like some of these webinars, they could take up a lot of energy. And I've been
Yeah.
doing them like every month now. And you can get burnt out. So I think it's really important to have those days where you're off, where you're just focused on like prayer or you're going for a walk, whatever makes you feel good. But I love watching movies with my husband. I love eating tacos.
Hey, can't go wrong with a taco. Taco Tuesday.
Hey, there it is. I like treating myself, and then not, um, you know, I feel like when you have like these launches with courses, you have an expectation of I think of like how much you want to sell and things like that. And I looked over and I was like with this digital courses, like I've like earned over 60K with just that. And it's just amazing to me how a course to me, it's like mind blowing. Could even make $100. Like it, all of those are wins to me. Like
Yeah.
$50, like everything. Like, but there's people that believe in you, and believe in this, and that is amazing because it actually works, and you want to help them get it, And so I think like one of the things that I really try to do to treat myself is giving myself like the tacos, the days off, the walks to the beach and things like that.
Yeah. So just kind of taking the day and stay present.
Yes,
Yeah.
I love that. Staying present. Because I feel like as entrepreneurs, sometimes we're not. Like I feel like
Yeah.
we're just on 10, like, and we see everybody on social media. They made 100K, they made this, they made that, and it can make other entrepreneurs feel like, oh my God, I'm not doing enough, but you are doing
Hmm.
enough. Trust me, every single thing that you do, if you have one sale, that's just as good as if you've had 100.
Yeah, no, I definitely agree with that because I'm always like, I don't feel like I'm doing enough. Like I was
You
just
are
like,
doing a lot, girl.
I know Sunshine's always telling me, she's like, girl, you were doing a lot. I've seen your growth. Like, she's like,
All
give
that
me
growth.
some grace. And I'm like, you're right, some grace. I'm gonna have a pizza grace pie. And I'm
That's
gonna
right. That's right. And then like, yes, it's very, very good.
yeah. So how do you kind of keep track of your content? Because I know sometimes like when I'm working on my blogs and I have like all these ideas, like I do have like a excuse me, a content notebook where I just kind of like put them in there, but then it's like I tend to forget to go back to the
Mhm.
content notebook. So how do you, I guess, what's your method of keeping track of the content or at least going back to the content to making sure like it kind of gets out there? Because then my second
Yeah,
half of it is like, did I miss my turn? Like,
right.
did I still put this out? Like, is it even relevant anymore?
Right. Right. So yeah, so I like to keep like blog posts, like topics in like an Excel sheet. I have it kind of similar to the one that I have in the course, and I'll just highlight them, and it helps me stay organized. But I get inspired. Like if I find like a keyword that's like amazing, I'm like, I need to write this right now. So like I'm oh, but this is amazing. This is a gold mine. I need to write it right now. But I like to keep the content all together in an Excel sheet and then highlight the ones that I do. So I could just go
Okay.
down and or I give them to my writer. So I may say, okay, I'm going to have him write this one and this one, and then I'm going to write this one. You know, as well as I just started a newer blog, so I'm like, I'm really like loving the content because it's just fun. It's not like it has to be like technical right now,
Yeah,
like my first blog. So I like to like check off my list what all the blog posts that I have done and want to do, and I highlight the ones that I have done to keep me focused.
got you. So how many blogs do you have?
Yeah, so I have a total of 3. So me and
Okay.
my husband have a music blog because, as you may know, I have a background in singing and performing arts. So we have a
Really?
music blog, I have a beauty blog, and then and that was more like lifestyle,
Okay.
but specifically beauty though. And then I also have, as you know, the Arts and Budgets blog, which is a personal finance blog.
Right. So
Because it could be hard to keep up with all those blogs.
I know that's what I'm like, how do you how do you do this? How do you find and keep your balance? Like, are you the calendar person? Like if it's not on the calendar, it doesn't exist?
Oh yeah, so I love stuff on the calendar. Like I'm really organized when it comes to that. So like if I like to organize it and make sure like okay, I'm writing 2 blog posts for this blog post for this blog week, but I do have writers though. So majority of the content is from writers. I'm doing the technical stuff of editing it, looking at it, making sure that it's correct, making sure there's no typos in there, making sure it's not all AI, right?
Gotcha.
I'm doing the more technical stuff now. I have the
Okay.
writers doing a lot of the writing for me because of the fact that I do have 4 kids, a whole husband, and
Yeah.
you get it. If it was like 10 years ago, then yeah, maybe I could like do three different blogs and like write like 2 blog posts for each week. But it's a lot
Yeah.
of work.
It would be. And it's just like, girl, where are you finding the time to just live, smell a rose? So that
Yeah,
at some point it's just like, yeah, that's not really sustainable or healthy in like the long
I
term.
know.
So,
Yeah.
but hey, you have a system, and from all the other like business coaches that I hear say, having a system is like really, really key
Yes.
for like having success.
Yes. Absolutely.
So, how long did it take you to build your own system? Like,
It took
especially
me.
with Blog for Profit.
Yeah, so it took me about, I would say, 3 to 6 months to really get in the swing of things with that, with
Mm,
the course and everything. So it wasn't too bad. So like it took me about a good 3 months. And then now I have my VA helping me with the consistency with it, making sure stuff is, the promo stuff is done and things like that. So I have help on that end too.
very cool. And what are some of your favorite platforms to either put on a webinar or even just to create your courses?
Yeah, so I absolutely love Webinar Jam. I'm using them now. I've also used Crowdcast. Now I like both of them. Webinar Jam is more geared towards webinars in general. I feel like if you want to sell a webinar, Crowdcast is more if you want engagement, if you want to connect with the people, because it's like a social media platform for webinars to me. But
Okay.
I really do enjoy both of those though.
Very cool. Love it. It's been noted, well noted. Because I
Yeah,
always hear people talking about webinar jam, but crowdcast, you said it was?
yeah, Crowdcast is another good one too, and it's a
Okay.
little bit cheaper than Webinar Jam as well.
Cool. I love it.
But I
Yeah.
like the interface; it's real cute, real smooth too.
Hey, we like it when it's cute. It always helps.
Yes.
Cool. So what are some of your tips for new bloggers, and when is the next cohort happening for Blog for Profit Academy? Because I know it's coming up soon, sometime
It
in
is.
like what, another week or so?
Yeah, so the next cohort is starting August 17th. It'll be that weekend. We'll be bringing in some more students. As you probably noticed, we've had a lot of more people coming in each month. It's because I've been doing like the webinars each month. So that's
Yeah.
really cool. I really like that. Like the coaching sessions are kind of flowing,
Yeah.
and things like that. So it's really cool. So the next one is August 17th, and that whole weekend going into the next week. And some advice I would give new bloggers would be consistency. Stay consistent, figure out what's not working and tweak that, and go study like other bloggers in your niche, see what they're doing. Keyword research is highly important. Make sure you focus on SEO. Learn that. A lot of people don't do that when they're starting out. Learn search engine optimization. If you want to monetize with ads or affiliate marketing, that is your gold mine, right?
Yes.
um, Focus on that and don't give up. Keep writing the content. Keep writing, because it will pay off, especially if you are utilizing SEO. If you are
Yeah.
utilizing SEO and you're staying consistent, you're going to see some stuff start move. Now, SEO is a long game, so it could take like a good year of somebody staying consistent with it, but it's worth it.
Yeah. I agree. I definitely agree, because once you put me onto the SEO, although like I had heard about it before and I was kind of familiar with it, it was one of those things where you thought you were doing something and it was like, I really wasn't. Um, and
Yes.
then, the more you do it, it's like, oh, okay, like you start to see a result. Even like on my own Pinterest, I was like, oh, okay, like we get some more
Yes.
views, people are seeing
Okay.
me, get a little bit more visibility. So it
Yes.
does work. So that makes me excited. And I hope you guys, join in and see for yourself, and just, kind of give yourself a chance, because you can
Yes.
do it too.
Yes. Absolutely.
Cool. So where's the best place for people to connect with you if they either want to sign up for the course, or they just want to pick your brain about all the things you have going on?
Yeah. So one of the best platforms is Instagram. You can find me at iamlatashapeterson Peterson on Instagram. You can also go to latashapeterson.com. I just recently got a new website that's branded with my name as
Yay.
well. And I'm also on TikTok at I am Latasha Peterson too. So those are some of the platforms that I'm heavily on. And I'm also on Facebook at I am Latasha Peterson as well.
Very cool. How are you liking TikTok? Because I know we spoke about it before.
Yeah.
And you were like, oh, I'm still kind of like testing it out. So how's your experience been on TikTok?
Pretty good, pretty good. I see that they like you to design the TikToks videos in the platform too. Those videos have done better, so it's a little bit more work, but that's
Yeah.
okay. If you save all your information like in the notes or in your iPhone or whatever, you can just copy and paste right from like the Instagram, like what you do for Instagram, and send it over to TikTok.
Oh, very cool. I'm glad you're having fun. Right now I'm still on the Pinterest and the Instagram. I'll make my way over to TikTok
That's
maybe
right.
next year.
That's right. It's okay.
But like you
Those
say,
two are Instagram
master.
and yeah,
You
Instagram and Pinterest are my favorite.
Yeah, and you're always encouraging us to master one or two platforms anyway. So
Yeah.
I'm just gonna hold my horses, cool a little bit, and just
That's
give myself grace, because I'm doing a lot.
That's right. That's right.
Well, cool, Latasha. I want to thank you again for coming on and just sharing more about yourself and what you have going on. You're amazing. I'm so happy that I was able to, find you sometime last year, whenever it was.
Yes.
Um, and yeah, I'm just thankful and grateful for all the information and the coaching that you've given me and the encouragement that you've given me. So thank you for coming on the show. Do you have any last parting words for the audience? Anything you want to share?
Never give up. Take
That's
a
a good
risk,
one.
never give up. Keep on going, y'all.
Yes, I like that. Well, guys, on that note, thank you for listening in today. We'll be back next week for the final episode of the season. We're wrapping it up. But if you haven't heard it today, remember, you are strong, you are worthy, and you are enough. And I'll see you next time on the next episode of Just Be You Podcast. Bye for now.